Hi there, welcome to today's Business Growth Club show. We are so pleased to have you here. The theme is growth marketing.
We're talking about actions and consequences today.
It's all about purpose.
Driving business growth with using KPIs.
We're talking money mindset.
The Growth Club, I mean, not to oversell it, but it's so well organised. So yeah, it was totally invaluable.
The Growth Club, coupled alongside with the Masters that I'm doing at Strategic Leadership at the moment, both of those things happening collectively have definitely transformed, and the Growth Club did have a massive impact for our business.
What is it that attracted you to come to the Growth Club in the first place? Let me just ask you to start off with that.
Well, because it was the two of you, basically.
Well, good evening, Joe. That was so good evening, everybody. So that was mine and Joe's attempt to go Netflix standard. We're upping the levels now even more. It is Christmas time, so forgive us any faux pas there. That's a great selection of music you had there, Joe. I think I'll do my little air guitar in the background.
Yeah, it's. I loved it. It's great, great energy, and it just really made me smile seeing everybody back and all the different things, and I don't know, all the different ways you can do the same hairstyle.
I know what you mean. So, what are we talking about? Talking about where are we now? Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. I know. We're coming up for Christmas, aren't we? And all those, it's that period where one day goes into the next and who knows what day it is. But it's definitely nearly Christmas. So it's our Christmas show.
Yeah, no, I think it's that Christmas jumper I spot there. That's
it is, yeah, it's got reindeer and snowflakes. If a little monochrome, it's definitely Christmas jumper. Yeah.
Hey, black and white is the new colour now, actually. I've got my, if everyone can see that, the number one hero, not very Christmassy. I have my green, it's not green t-shirt, I just thought I'd do a bit of flashing on there. I suppose we're going to be official, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful broadcast on the Business Growth Club show. My good friend and business partner, Dr. Jo North. I don't have to call her doctor, by the way, when we're talking, but occasionally I'll slip that in. If you're catching up on replay, folks, fantastic. Put the hashtag replay in there. Tonight is a very light-hearted but serious theme in the sense of we're talking about businesses, but we're going to mention the B word. We're not going to mention the C word. And we're certainly not going to mention the F word as such. And we know it's a family show, so we're not swearing here. So I'm actually looking forward to a nice 20 minutes, half an hour of gentle chit-chat.
Yeah. So Brexit is the B word, isn't it? Just so people know that we're not talking about swearing. The C word is COVID and the F word is furlough. Is that right? Have I got those right?
Absolutely, yeah. It can be something else. You can replace the F word with something else, by the way, to describe the gear it's been. Yeah,
but so none of that. I know there's loads going on, but we're just, for a little while this evening, we're just going to have a chat, think about Christmas, and just really wind down a little bit. And I'm loving your tinsel as well, Mahmood.
Thank you very much. That's a bit of the leftover. We had a staff Christmas meal last week, so all the restaurants not being able to serve beyond one person and all restricted, we did a DIY this year. So I've got a large meeting room. Got the table decked out, decorations, food, all the rest of it, and that tinsel is a bit of a residual from that Friday.
Oh, looking good. So we're in the run up to Christmas. We would love to know what you're doing for Christmas. Are you winding down? Are you still working? Janice is saying hi, Mahmood, and hi, Janice, as well from both of us here.
Yes, I've had my shot. Hi, Janice. How are you?
Yeah, and Nadine is saying Christmas ? So I guess probably still like us. Still got loads of things to do before the big day.
Are you still stuck at the office? Are you still working at the moment?
What, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I am. So I'm actually working up to Christmas, and then between Christmas and New Year, and then after New Year as well. So I've got a time-bound project for a client with a specific deadline. So it's quite an important bid, actually.
Okay.
We're looking to get in. So I'm working on that. But I'm going to have, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, some time off as well. So, and we've got all sorts of questions coming in. It's great to see you all.
Oh, well, thank you very much, everyone, for taking the time to see. I hope the eggnog is not going down too swiftly. So where's that from? Richard?
Yeah. So, what is the meaning to your wall art? I've been wondering for weeks. So, well, thank you, Richard. You'll learn more about this tonight, actually. But Mahmood's got his business, and I've got my business. My business is called The Big Bang, and that's my logo. Which is, if I move a little bit, it's actually people coming together, cogs. So I do a lot of innovation facilitation work, and that's the logo. And I'm quite partial to a wall vinyl. So there it is on the wall. Thank you for asking that.
I love the idea that you've got a cog, actually, because I've actually got cogs in my logo as well. So how ironic that we've both got cogs, albeit for a different thing.
Yeah, that is strange, isn't it? So tonight it's all about what we're doing, isn't it? And how a bit of the story of how we've got here and what we want to do going forward. We want to hear all about your plans as well and what you're doing for Christmas. So keep asking us in the comments and keep telling us what you're up to.
I think tonight also gives us an opportunity to actually, we catch up regularly, we have a chat, see what's going on, we talk about business, we talk about the Growth Club, and there's a few questions I've got up my sleeve later on, Jo, that I'm going to put to you. Nothing embarrassing, by the way, but I think is that, the softer side, what I say, the coming up to Christmas in terms of wind down what you do. So I suppose, let me kick off still, if you don't mind. What's your final week in running usually like for Christmas?
So it's usually getting a load of stuff done, finishing stuff off, or letting myself know where I need to pick up when I come back. So I'll be starting work again sort of immediately after Boxing Day. So there'll be a list of things that are ready. But it's a more relaxed pace. So I'm not running around like a headless chicken or anything. That was last week. This week, last week was all about getting all the meetings in, talking to everybody before they went on leave. This week is about getting myself organised and getting projects together so that in between Christmas and New Year, I can pick up where I left off and be in a really good place. What about you?
Quite similar, actually. I mean, for me, it's a bit like when I go on holiday. It's like, for me, holiday's always like a million years away, and as time gets closer. So you think, right, suddenly your big in tray becomes even bigger, and you're spending a lot of time to actually try and get that cleared, kind of get that down. I actually do now more so in the last few years, more look forward to actually having a couple of days getting off the roundabout. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a complete shutdown, but it's actually nice to get away and have a bit of quiet away from the hurly-burly of the office.
Yeah, I think so. It's good for us, isn't it? And also I think both of us work really hard and we put a lot in throughout the year, and actually our families deserve that time as well with us, and we deserve that time. It's just really nice to make sure we switch off, isn't it? And doing all those things means that we can switch off without having anything hanging over us. And I think what would be really interesting is I would love to know a bit more about, and I know some stuff, but what are you doing when you're doing Business Growth Club stuff? How do you actually spend your days? What's your other business all about, and how do you spend your time?
Okay. Well, it's strange, actually. So let's have a little bit of a cough there. In terms of in the business life, so I start my day early. I don't think I start it as early as you, because you tend to start yours around about 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll start probably around about 6 in the morning. I like to get in the office quite early because that's when hardly anybody's about. And therefore I do that, eat the frog bit, get a lot of work done in that first part of the day. The office starts to build up. Then I've got people, it's a whole variety of things, dealing with client work coming in, dealing with new inquiries, dealing with things about new projects and all the rest of it. And then as it gets towards the tail end of the afternoon, it's a bit more of a relaxed afternoon in theory. And then it gets to about 5 o'clock. If I don't get out of the way, I'll get run over by everyone leaving the office. I'll do a couple more hours because it's relatively quiet. Go home, relax, watch a bit of TV. I like watching a bit from soaps, do a bit of reading, and then probably clock on for a couple of more hours and then go to bed and do it all over again the next day.
Yeah, brilliant. So So what is I'm just going to put a comment up actually. So Janice says it's great to see you live. It's great to see you too, Janice. So so do ask us anything you want to know, or anything you want to share what in terms of what you get up to, then let us know. Thank you for that. So what is proactive resolutions then?
Okay. Well, that is a metamorphosis. I don't know if that's the right word to use. So my background is I started my working life backwards. So I started my life in education as a teacher. I did that for about 3 years. And in the UK, if you're a teacher, people think you're crap. You can't actually do anything else. So I deliberately left that after 3 years. I didn't have anything to go to, by the way, but I just, left there, went into industry, eventually got a job, did that for X number of years. Got to a certain place, liked it, loved it, thought, what am I going to do next? Left. And then 25 years ago, I initially was starting off doing a training company, going off all over the world, doing various bits and bobs. And then slowly it morphed the other way around. So I do a combo, basically anything in the finance world. So accounts, tax work, business planning, and also the educational as well as the practical. And they just now conveniently and nicely sort of merge into one of the two. As a business growth club, I think it was perfect way to just carry on that and form that partnership.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because we've met once in person, and then we decided we were going to do stuff together, and which was virtually, and then the first lockdown happened, and we've just worked virtually ever since. So we've not actually met beyond that once, have we? So it'll be really nice when we can actually get together and do things and connect and have some lunch and all of that good stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just seeing some more comments coming. Before we share that, a question probably out to everyone who's coming in, like, listen, guys, I know it's come up to Christmas time, so it's really brilliant to see you come on and share some comments. Chuck something in the comments box about how you guys relax. So I don't think many business owners actually turn off completely. I know we all promise to do. So whether it's looking at your phone, how do you make that transition? What's your tips for actually trying to unwind and relax from your business? And let's have a couple of here. So Nadine, nice to see you relaxing. That's very kind of you to say, Nadine. Nadine's a hard worker. I know she puts a lot of effort and energy into her business life. So I'll be interested to hear from everybody else, by the way, how they relax and unwind. So let me reverse the question. Let's do a bit of ping pong here, Jo.
Mm-hmm.
What was the drivers behind you actually starting the business in the first place? You had a very successful career behind you.
Yeah, so I was in a job that I was really good at but didn't enjoy, and there's a phrase called leaning your ladder up the wrong wall, and I felt like I was working really hard 24/7 to get somewhere that I didn't actually want to be. So I was the director of a train company called East Coast Trains, and I was the deputy MD, and I really enjoyed it. And I've had a really enjoyable career actually in transport and in other sectors. I've done all sorts of things. But I just wanted to, I was really into innovation, and I wanted to work with all sorts of different companies and sectors, and just decided to set up my own consultancy, which is what I did. It's 10 years ago. So this year was our 10th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Of being in business. Thank you. And it's, being in business is the best thing ever. It brings different worries, it brings different sort of stresses and concerns and what have you, but it's so brilliant. I get to work with amazing, genuinely amazing people doing all sorts of fascinating stuff, and I'm always learning. So and then you've got the freedom of what you do as well. So I really, really enjoy being in business.
Well, that's an evolution over 10 years. I know you've put a lot of energy and work, and you apply yourself really well. Can you remember what it was like on your first year, first few months before when you made that leap?
The sleepless nights, I think the older you get in corporate world and the more successful you get, the more it feels like you're putting at risk, the more it feels like you're giving up. You're not giving up, but you're giving away that guaranteed salary and the executive pension and all of those things and those perks. So I think that gets hard and I resigned. So it wasn't like I had a redundancy package or anything like that. I chose to go.
That real let's do it moment.
Yeah. So I had loads of sleepless nights. I thought, would anybody pay me to do this stuff? I can remember actually getting my first innovation gig, which was with the University of York. and I delivered it, and got paid for it. And I was sat outside in the car at the end of the day in the car park and just sobbed with joy because somebody had paid me to do the thing that I wanted to do, and that was, the business getting off the ground, and it felt amazing.
It's a good bit of validation, isn't it? When somebody pays you, it's like, actually, yeah, somebody sort of believes in what I'm offering and they're willing to pay me money for it as well.
Yeah, and I'm just as grateful for that today as I was. I mean, I don't sit and cry as much anymore, but I am just as grateful for that, every single day, because so people trust me to do the things that I do, and and I can make a really good living from it, and I love it, which is fantastic. We've got some great comments coming in as well.
Absolutely. Let's have a look. So I think let's go, if we're going to be orderly about this. So this is Richard's tip for switching off. So it's easy. He talks to himself. Okay. That's a great point there. I think that's very similar. That's like that demarcation of your brain where your business is your employer, even though you're working for yourself. And actually it's having that distinction, isn't it, in your own mind, where actually what are my terms and conditions, what are my working environments like, and actually disciplining yourself. And that's a good show there. Richard. So
I think also, how you talk to yourself is really important. If you give yourself a verbal, beating up, then that's really no good. But saying well done, that was good. That stuff really matters, and it adds up over time. So I think that's a really good tip. I need to be better at that as well. So
I think to reinforce that, I think that's a deserved congratulations from Nadine for your 10th anniversary. I forgot to get you an anniversary card, actually.
It's all right. You give me so much other joy working with you. I've really loved our work together as well. Thank you very much, Nadine. That's really appreciate that.
Well, that's an interesting question. So Janice says, yeah, I have a team. So I've got a team of, I should be able to count, shouldn't I, of 7 people, full-time people who work with me. They play a variety of roles. So from full-time marketing for one, my wife doubles up as credit controller, that I get the money in, which is always important in terms of inputs into the marketing process as well. And then the rest of the team are made up of onboarding, client work, because obviously with most businesses you need people to actually do the work. I do less of the day-to-day work as such, not completely divorced from that. So yeah, it's a nice mixed team. And I have to say, I wouldn't actually be where I am now and being able to do all this if I didn't have a fantastic team behind me. I will point out, by the way, I've got lots of grey hair from all the bad team members I've had historically. So it does take you time to actually get there.
Yeah, I agree. I think people are so important. It's working with the right people, isn't it? And I've got a small team, so I've got about 4 people, and we're a really tight team. But also I've got some virtual team members who've got their own businesses and who I've worked with for years. So for instance, Ruby on graphic design does an amazing job, and some associates as well, so who help with the consulting and are really like an extension of the team. Well, they are an extension of the team. So yeah, great people are invaluable. So thank you to everybody for all your hard work this year. And like you, Mahmood, I've backed some wrong uns in my time as well.
Look, I think if you do, and I think you're right there in the sense that it doesn't need to be an employed or a freelance, it's just having the right person. To be fair, I don't know anybody who's actually used an external or an internal person who hasn't had their fingers burnt or disappointment at some point. Yeah,
but the rewards are massive when you get it right, and that's when great things happen as well.
Got some great comments. Before I've got some more, I'm not going to let you off the hook completely, by the way, Jo. And I think these are really valid. So courageous decision. Absolutely. So some people have that transformation without something to go into. So making that leap, just a testimony to your own sort of thought process there, Jo.
Yeah, well, what accelerated that was my daughter at the time was about 14. And Janice resigned as well, same thought process. And I was with my mum. My mum lives in Skegness in Lincolnshire. It's a seaside town. Anyway, I grew up there. And I was with my mum one Sunday and I'm thinking, I don't really want to go to work tomorrow. So I came back from my mum's and said to my husband, John, and my daughter, Amaya, 14, I said, what would you say if I resigned tomorrow? And John said, excuse the language, about bloody time.
Okay.
You want to do your own thing. We think you should. And my daughter said, well, you always tell me that I should follow the things I want to do and go for it, and you should do the same. So I went in and resigned the following day. So
That must have been fantastic for you to have that support behind you when you made that decision.
Yeah, makes such a huge difference. And Janice, it's really interesting, same thought process, but it's great when you've done it, isn't it? And you get going.
It's strange actually that when you make that leap, because I know when for me and for other people when they make that leap, there's part of you that thinks, am I doing the right thing? Because sometimes your work environment or your culture can actually make you think that actually if you do it, it's that you're going into the abyss, that, it's going to all collapse and it's going to be horrible. Sometimes some people are quite toxic and they make you think actually, you're really silly to leave. You don't always get the support from people that you think it is. But, if you've got skills, if you've got something to back you up and you make that leap, the worst thing that will happen is you'll be poor for a period of time.
Yeah.
But,
and that fear actually drives you to go out, do business development and get some clients in,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, fantastic. Not look back since, but work blooming hard to get the business off the ground, and still work hard, still work really, really hard, but love it. And thank you, Nadine. So Nadine's asked, what's your PhD in, Jo? So my PhD is in entrepreneurship and innovation, and it's all about how people in businesses can think differently in order to get real commercial growth. And I completed it I'm 51, so I completed it in 2016. So it took me 6 years working part-time. So I was a very mature student, but I'm really pleased I did it. And there's actually I've got some more entrepreneurship research I'm working on in 2021 as well with the University of York. So I'll say more about that next year, but there's some good stuff coming. Thanks for the question.
Does that mean I might have to call you Professor?
No, I'm not. You can, but that'll be a personal choice rather than anything I'm, particularly earned or achieved. But you can call me what you like. And Janice has said, best day of my life, excitement was off the page on my last day. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's really great when you feel that that corporate situation is changed and you're doing the things that you want to do. So now I do things I want to do. I'm very fortunate. I don't do things I don't want to do, and I will say no if I don't want to do them. And Nadine says, you've got an amazing team, Mahmood. You have indeed.
Thank you very much, Nadine. And they think very highly of you. I always pass on feedback I get, which, we get good feedback. We get sometimes interesting feedback, sharing that. But Nadine, thank you very much. I'm going to pass that on to the rest of the team. Some of them are on holiday anyway, but I'll let them know that anyhow. I think it's interesting from Nadine, from Janice, Richard, all the people on here tonight working for themselves. If anybody's out there, by the way, thinking, I'm actually thinking of going to a different direction, I'm thinking about making a leap, there's something holding me back, I've got a family and all the rest of it. Here's the way I would look at it. I won't be industrial. If you can think, if I don't make this decision, if I don't decide to do what I want to, if I fast forward and I look back and I might regret it, then do it. If you can be perfectly relaxed about it, then fine. It's not for everybody working for yourself. To some people, it's more suitable to stay in employment because it gives them what they need. But do not live a life of regrets, of thinking, I wish I could. Personally speaking, I hate that phrase, I wish I could. It's either do it or don't do it.
Yeah, and you can prepare for it. So it's about taking steps towards it. And we heard from Sarah Salter, I think it was the week before last.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it? And Sarah was an HR director for a large water group, a utilities group, and found that, that first year of being in business on your own, if you've come from a corporate environment, particularly, you've got all sorts of different departments doing all sorts of things. And then you've got to think about it all for yourself when you start your own small business. And so, but you can take steps to prepare for that, you can get ready so that when you do jump, you jump at the right time. And as you're as ready as you can ever be, at some point you can't get any further. You've just got to make the leap and go for it. But you can get ready, I think.
Of course you can. You can do desk-based research till the cows come home, but at some point you've got to actually make the decision to go forward. So let me ask you then, Jo, 10 years on, okay, as far as you can reflect back when you were working in corporate, has your mindset and approach to life and people changed?
I think it's changed anyway, simply because I'm 10 years older and I've seen 10 years more stuff. And I still work in corporate environments and still love it. I absolutely love the corporate work that I'm doing at the moment. Really, really enjoy being part of a team, being part of an organisation, and contributing on an ongoing basis to the projects and the businesses that I work with. So I really enjoy the corporate environment, but there's something about being able to really become a niche expert in innovation and growth, innovation-led growth, that I thoroughly enjoyed. So yes, my attitude has changed, and I actually still worry, but I worry less, and I worry about different things. I think I now concern myself with things that matter and that I can control, rather than worrying unnecessarily about things that I can't.
Okay, that's a fair. I think I was thinking more about, it's not so much about not working in the corporate environment, but I suppose for me, it's that subtle change where you work for somebody and you work with somebody, in the sense of
because I'm quite my interest in entrepreneurship is that there's something very independent about me, and all the roles I've had, all the leadership roles and all the roles getting to leadership, I never see myself as working for anyone. I don't see myself as working for a client or working for a boss. I'm there to do the best job I can with the role that I've got. Everybody's got a different role and we're all working together, and it's my job to support people in doing their role. Well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense as anything can at this time of the evening. But it makes sense. So what about yourself then? So come Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, what does the Jo North household look like?
So Christmas Eve, it'll just be my husband and daughter and I, and boyfriend is with his family, not my boyfriend, by the way.
This is Jo's daughter.
Yeah, so he won't be with us, but there's all this sort of social distancing and household bubbles and stuff. We need to really think, take that very seriously, which we are, but just very relaxed, just chilled, being at home, enjoying each other's company, playing a few games, watching a few movies. What about you? What are you going to get up to on Christmas Eve?
Well, Christmas Eve, so normally, because I come from a family of 9, so we normally have a big catch-up. That's not possible this year for a number of reasons. So therefore, it's going to be relatively quiet. So on the Christmas day itself, we me and Serena, our 2 cats, who probably, we're their tenants, they're our landlords. We'll have a nice relaxing Christmas dinner. And then on the Boxing Day, we tend to have a few people come round, obviously within the confines of what we're allowed, to come around, relax and unwind on Boxing Day. And then I'm just going to make a decision about whether I'm going to go back to work on the 27th or not, as the case is. So that'd be for me. So it's nice and relaxed, watch a bit of chewing gum TV, catch up on some films, do some reading, realise that my wife chooses better presents for me than I choose for her. That's pretty much.
I'm sure that's not the case.
She told me what she wants. I now tell her, okay, what do you actually want? And I just try and throw a couple of surprises in there as well. Yeah,
that sounds really good. Well, I actually cook on Christmas Day, which I don't do so much the rest of the year. So that's quite an event in itself. But I am a good cook. It's just I often don't do it. So yeah, it's gonna be really nice, I think, just to take that downtime, enjoy it, and then come back, match fit and raring to go after the festive season. Really, it's important. I think we've earned it. And I think it's been a challenging year, and we all deserve a break, some family time, and a bit of fun as well.
Do you find it easy to switch off and to make that transition from a full-on working week to suddenly it's that period of time?
Yeah, I think it's easier at Christmas than any other time, because everybody else is, well, most other people are doing the same. A lot of offices have closed down, and just for the festive period or whatever. Some businesses, of course, are full on working. If you're online retailers, e-commerce businesses are probably really busy still getting things out and then lining up for the January sales and stuff, the Boxing Day sales afterwards. So it really depends what sector people are in. But I think the fact that it's acceptable at this time of year, it's expected that we all relax and have fun. And I think that makes it easier all around, really.
Absolutely. I'm trying to figure out what just gone. Let's what's this? This is not swearing, everyone. So what's it? If it's not Christmas Day, I'll be 50 NYE.
New Year's Eve.
Oh, New Year's Eve. Okay. I'll be blimey, Richard. Did you know you're that old? You're very 50.
Well, happy. I mean, we're going live again next week, so we will make sure we wish you a very special birthday then. But that's fantastic. So, are you doing anything special for New Year's Eve for your birthday?
Do share.
Yeah, let us know. And what would you like? What would be your 50th birthday present of your dreams? Let us know.
Yeah, so your wife might be watching, so she might be able to indulge you.
Yes.
Keep it please, obviously. This is a family show. I'm really impressed by that. You knew what those initials stood for.
What, New Year's Eve? Yeah. It says Vegas. Vegas is off. Vegas is off. So, so we've actually got a Christmas present to give everybody, haven't we?
We have, actually. Would you like to tell our wonderful listeners and viewers, and for those of you coming on replay, you are part of the happy tribe as well?
Yeah. So we, especially Mahmood's done all the hard work on this one, have created something that will really help you with your business growth. And we're just happy to just send it to you. So tell us all about, it's got all sorts of stuff in there around strategy and planning and thinking for the future. And it's really good, isn't it? So
yeah, it's our Business Growth Club guide. So it's got little pocket bits about everything from planning to strategy. When we talk about different models, by the way, we're not obviously talking Lego here, but different approaches. I can't remember how many pages, but it's action-packed. It's free, by the way, so we're happy to give it away. So how do people get hold of a copy, Jo? What do you think? Just dropping their comments in?
Let us know in the comments and we'll get a copy to you. That'd be grand. That'd be great.
I think all the excitement of going on here, I forgot to add our ticker tape. So, look, we're half an hour into the show. At least I actually pressed go live, which is good. So if anybody would like a wonderful free copy, we can even actually, I know the Royal Mail is a bit poo at the moment. We can either email it to people or we can even post it out to you, whatever's easier. Drop a comment in here saying, please, and we will arrange to send out a guide to you. So we have Steve Costin. Good evening, Steve. How are you? Thank you for coming in. So, Steve, a question we've been asking everyone: are you looking forward to the Christmas break, and how are you going to relax and keep it clean?
Yeah, well, you can keep it clean. And so Richard would like a copy of our business growth guide. He says, never says no. Never say no, guys. Send, please. Thank you. We will do that. We will do that with pleasure.
We will arrange to get that sent out. We'll point out Royal Mail are probably taking about 2.5 years to get things delivered. Royal Mail,
they're working really, really hard. They're working overtime. And I took something to the post office today. And, if you do special delivery, if anybody wants to, you can still send things tomorrow to get there for Christmas Eve. So if you've still got a Prezi to send and you send it special delivery, it will get there. But it'll cost you.
You're the fairer person amongst the two of us. So there's me being flippant, castigating Royal Mail. You guys do work very hard, so I do apologise out there. If there's any Royal Mail people who want to come onto a Business Growth Club course, we'd be happy to have you. And I do apologise for castigating the brand.
No, I just think it must be a really challenging time of year, and they're trying to do it all under difficult circumstances at the moment, aren't they? And they have moved with the times, actually. Royal Mail's a really interesting business because they've got that I don't work for them. I'm not on commission or anything. But
there's no clients of Jo who are Royal Mail customers, by the way.
Yeah, you can print out your own labels at home, can't you? And you can and stick them on and post them. And you can actually have them come and pick things up from you these days, which is a much better service than it used to be. So
Plus, also, you've got a massive organisation that's shifting loads of goods, parcels, and all the rest of it. And as an employer, as an old pseudo public sector organisation, it's a massive evolution it's got to go through, to meet the modern age.
Yeah, it's been through some big transformations. So, yeah, good stuff. So we will send that to you. So let us know. We'll definitely send you yours, Richard. Steve, if you'd like one, I don't know if you just joined us and you might have just missed it, but we were talking about the Business Growth Guide, which is our Christmas present to you. And it's jam-packed with all sorts of things to think about around planning, strategy, practical tips to get organised and ready to start with 2021. So brilliant. And Steve's not going to think about work for a few days, get drunk and then switch back on. That sounds really good.
I think you won't be alone there, Steve. I think there'll be hundreds of thousands of people up and down the UK who will be not coming around to your house, by the way, but joining in and doing quite the similar. I think Britain, actually, if you look at it historically, it's a real boring story here, has actually got a great reputation around the world, if you can use that phrase, of actually having a very strong drinking culture, even going back pre-Victorian days as well.
Yeah, I watched, one of those BBC programmes about Christmas at Hampton Court in the days of Henry VIII, and it just seemed to be like a whole month of drinking, and swans seemed to be what happened. But there we are. So really good stuff. I would like to know, Steve, is that your house in the picture that we can see?
Good question.
Yeah, just a question. Can answer. So, and what we're doing next week, Mahmood, is we're having a think actually about quick run through the year, some fun facts as well as some obvious stuff. We're not going to dwell too much on all the obvious stuff, but some fun facts, and also do a bit of trend spotting for 2021 and share some of the thought leadership that's out there in terms of what the world might look like in 2021. And Steve says, no, that's not his house.
A review, dip our fingers in the air and say, this is what we think is likely to happen, what we can see. Obviously, if it comes perfectly correct, you can call us Nostradamus. If it's wrong, then obviously we'll just say, that's our best opinion.
Yeah, I was thinking Mystic Meg more than Nostradamus.
Okay, Mystic Meg, that's got a ring to it. Or Russell Grant, who's discredited these days.
Yeah, well, but she was a lot more fun, I think.
Yeah.
But where the trend's going, and just really, looking forward to, I think, more challenges ahead in 2021, but also I think there'll be a lot to look forward to. And the thing is, it's great to be here at the end of this year, and we've had a really good time. I mean, I've loved everything we've done together, Mahmood, this year. I really, really have. And I'm looking forward to the January Growth Club as well. Absolutely.
I mean, listen, we're only warming up anyway. So we've only been doing this not even for a year now. So next week, by the way, I should tell everybody we are going to be mentioning the C word in passing. Yeah. We are going to be mentioning the B word in passing. We are going to mention the F word. And I think that is a perfect way to describe it. So I'm going to share this comment from the Dean. Absolutely. In all things that happen in life, depends how you want to take those spectacles. You can either look at it as half empty glass, or you can actually look at it as a half full. Yeah. So where there is, shall we say, challenges, it also means the flip side is there are opportunities to take advantage of. So I think that's a great positive way to look at it, Nadine.
Yeah. It goes back to the mindset, doesn't it? And what we were talking about earlier, which is actually, how we talk to ourselves is pretty important. And I think it was it Richard that was saying that at the end of the day says, well, Friday, 5 o'clock, says, well done. Thank you. That was a great job. All of that definitely helps. Yeah. Supported by neuroscience as well.
So listen, everyone. So Joe, listen, you have a fantastic Christmas. I know you've got a few days to go before it all happens. All our listeners out there, you have a superb time. Obviously, when we speak to you next Tuesday, so we're back on the 29th, 2 days before the end of the year, and the B word, which we're not really going to mention. I'm looking forward to it. So have a fantastic time. Relax. Richard, likewise. Have a fantastic Christmas. Yeah. So relax, enjoy, and do the Tesco's advert? Something about it's not naughty or something.
Yeah, so there's nobody's on the naughty list this year. We're all on the nice list, including Steve, who says sorry, it's not his house. Yes, no, don't worry. It's a nice house, so I'll just enjoy Christmas. I think we've all earned it. So Nadine says thank you, and thank you to all of you too. Very Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful time, and we will see you on Tuesday.
We will indeed. I think what we're going to do, I love this show reel, and we're going to play it out with a wonderful show reel. Everyone have a great time. Watch those livers. Watch the old waistband. Not too much. And we'll see you guys next week.
Happy Christmas.
Hi there, welcome to today's Business Growth Club show. We are so pleased to have you here. The theme is growth marketing.
We're talking about actions and consequences today.
It's all about purpose.
Driving business growth with using KPIs.
We're talking money mindset.
The Growth Club, I mean, not to oversell it, but it's so well organised. So yeah, it was totally invaluable.
The Growth Club, coupled alongside with the Masters that I'm doing at Strategic Leadership at the moment, both of those things happening collectively have definitely transformed, and the Growth Club did have a massive impact for our business.
What is it that attracted you to come to the Growth Club in the first place? Let me just start off with that.
Well, because it was the two of you, basically.